Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. The crypto bull market is over, guys. CryptoQuant CEO is sounding the alarm. We're going to be taking a look at that. Looking at the markets this morning, we are seeing a little bit of red here right above my head there. That is going to be your Dow Jones. That is going to be your S&P and your NASDAQ, all showing some red there on the charts today. And guys, the crypto bubble's following suit with it, of course. We're getting some sell-off here on Bitcoin. We're going to talk about the levels that I'm watching, how I'm approaching the dollar cost averaging right now in this current setting, and what the Piper plan is, all of that and a whole lot more right here today on the Morning Market Report. Let's get it, guys. You know what time it is. Class is in session. Good morning, everyone. Let's go ahead and drop this screen down here. Let's take a look at what we're seeing here. Bitcoin getting a rejection again off of that 200-day moving average right there. Simple moving average. It's where I entered my short at, and it's doing quite well for me. I'll take it up about 16%. I think it might even be more than that by now. But guys, we are getting some bearish news coming in off from CEO CryptoQuant, and but there's some other news. Some other news came in also and said, hey, calm down. We just exited a distribution. We might be in accumulation. Of course, we're going to kick that over to OC to talk about because he is that macro guy, that accumulation distribution Wyckoff guy. So we're definitely going to be kicking that over to him. But guys, we've got a lot of stuff lined up for you today. If you guys are just coming in, don't forget to smash that like button and share this with a friend. If you guys are coming from the Otter Gang, welcome to the Otter Gang, guys. Throw some otters in the chat for those guys because they support the show, and we have mad love for Alex O over there. Happy birthday to my brother Alex O. So let's go ahead and bring up OC guy here. OC, we're getting some sell-off in the markets, man. Distribution and accumulation, that's your forte. We're going to have you break that down, but how are you doing right now? How was your day and your night last night? And what are you thinking about the markets this morning?
Funny that you asked about last night, because last night, man, all of the things that I've been talking about going solar, so on and so forth, yesterday kind of like I paid out, at least emotionally, right? Because yesterday everybody just was out of power. I slept through the whole night. They cut power somewhere around 6 p.m. my time, and then came back somewhere around 1 hour ago, so 7 a.m. my time, and my batteries just went through full solar, full battery, so I could not be happier, and man, at the right moment, at the right spot. So just pretty happy with that. Just wanted to show it off. And also in the morning, just also preparing the coffee for my soon-to-be wife, that she's going to be coming back to say hi. And yeah, other than that, it's been a great morning, but Bitcoin price, it's been dumping. I don't know. We've been talking about this Bitcoin lifestyle, right? Remember, this is your zone. We also be talking about 76, 74, 64K for a possible push all the way to the downside, and maybe a Wyckoff pattern soon to be developed. But so far, it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm not gonna lie.
It is. And we showed on the daily, on the weekly, I guess it was the weekly, that we had a green candle on the MVP oscillator, which is a bottoming indicator. But I typically like to lean on that more on the monthly than I do the weekly. We'll take a look at all of those charts here in just a second. But I want to give a shout out to all of the people that are joining us here right now. 113 people right now in this live stream. So we appreciate you all being here. More importantly, we appreciate Alex O for sending the Otter Gang to us. So shout out to Harp, Alexandra G in the house with us, CryptoQuant Mindset, Kyle Phils, Jay Violet, Buck is in here, Mike Play. Just going to get through here and grab some of the names because there's a lot of you guys in here. Donato Cabrera, welcome to you. Good to see you here. Who else am I missing in here? Trade Intuition, shout out to you, bro. Good to see you here, man. He said he just woke up, catching up on the live. Nice. Uncle Jesse in the house, who may be changing his name to Prince Jesse soon in honor of Crypto Princess. Because we love her. She just broke 20,000 subscribers, man. So shout out to Crypto Princess. Yeah, she's growing. She's glowing up, bro. She's glowing up. Little Fish is in here with us right now also, and a whole lot more, guys. If I didn't get to your name, I apologize, but bad luck to everybody in the chat right now. Let's go ahead. I want to jump into a quick update on Bitcoin. We'll show what's going on with that, and then I'm going to get into the news. We did get some economic data this morning. We want to look at all of those metrics. So shout out to 2Dub. I see you, 2Dub. Wix Wi-Fi 89. 2Dub in the house. Good to have you here. All right, let's go check out this chart. Let's go over there. Go over there and take a look at what we're seeing here on the old bitty boy. We did, guys, this is the level we've been talking about. I entered my short right at the top of this 200-day simple moving average this weekend, and it's doing pretty decent right now. It's only a 5X, nothing big, nothing major. I'm still doing the dollar cost average plan, aka the Piper plan. We're going to break that down for you guys a little bit today because I did my DCA on Tuesday this week instead of Monday. Buck has pointed out that Tuesday has been better, and he's been right so far. So there you go. Write it down, Buck. Piper said you were right. Taking a look here, though, we did lose that 200-day. Currently sitting at about 81,272. Money flow is still coming down on the oscillator on the 4-hour. We did get a turn down here. Turn down on the ribbon, oscillator ribbon. Looks like volume's kind of flat also. Take a look over here and see what we're seeing on the Bitcoin on the weekly here. Actually, I want to move that to the daily. We are seeing here on the daily, we have a value area high coming in here off of this fixed range volume profile. That's going to be coming in currently at about $69,300. You can see here on the daily that we do have a green histogram and a signal line to the upside. However, looking at the MACD, it's starting to get flat. Looks like it might be coming back around for another leg down. Also looks like the oscillator on the day, oscillator pro ribbon here is starting to get that turned down. Also, that is typically when we get price movements to the downside. It's starting to get flat on the RSI prime, also indicating that we could be moving back down there. Taking a look at this on the weekly, though, guys, and this is what back here, way back here when we first fired off the first green, first red histogram block right there is when I said, guys, we got problem. Danger Will Robinson. Hit that sound effect in for me, OC. Danger Will Robinson in here. We got that crossover of the bearish signal and the histogram. There you go. Downside movement also oversold VWAP, overbought VWAP fire downtrend back here. So we had this time period where we came in for another liquidity sweep before we came down, but the indications were all there. This was just enough to get people stopped out from their entries that they put their shorts in. So that when you get these liquidity sweeps, typically is where you end up getting the play out on a lot of the stuff. You can see back here too, we had it that fired back in here. On this candle, a week later, we come in, liquidity sweep above it, and down we go. So looking at it right now, though, guys, RSI primed on the weekly looks like it's heading down for more downside, too. And this thing can get really low, as you can see right here. So we still have some room to go on this before we get close to a bounce. The level I'm really watching here, guys, $69,300 range. It's going to be key. It's also going to be the levels back here for a lot of other price action that was resistance before. That might be our support bounce area there to test. And again, $69,300. So that's what I'm seeing there. OC, we're going to have you go into a little more on the distribution stuff on that article and then take a look at what you're seeing on the Bitcoin chart. But I want to jump over to the news. But these current levels we're seeing on the weekly, I just want to ask you, what do you think about this weekly oscillators? Because they're not looking good when you look at the week. So.
Well, we need to understand that oscillators most likely, or I mean, in 99 of oscillators, 99 of oscillators are usually directional, right? They are kind of like in the bulk part of the movement. That doesn't mean that they cannot be very precise, but we usually look at oscillators to see trends, right? To see how the mass is turning. So sometimes these oscillators can be a little bit behind or even pushing into a possible change at the end. Like, for example, our oscillator right here on the daily is in the green at the moment and is pushing up to, there we go, it is at the green when we're talking about the wave in here. So that usually gives me a lot of momentum to maybe start pushing to the upside, maybe creating a possible head and shoulders with a cricket topping here, which could be making us go all the way up to 89K. But again, guys, this is a little bit of a hopium. And also look at how my drawing it's going. So we could be going all the way back down here at 78, right? So nothing to really kind of like a hype on it, but also something that we do need to pay attention, because at any point we could be breaking back above. Guys, let me show you a little great tip that I learned a long time ago when we started developing this oscillator. Let me show you that when we broke above the zero line in here and all the way till we broke above that zero line, look at how the direction of Bitcoin was trending. So above the zero line constantly, going upwards, right? And if we do the opposite, let me show it to you right here. As we break below and we stood below the zero line, well, the direction of Bitcoin was downwards, right? So what's happening at this point? We have broken all the way back from here, and we've been constantly, with the exception maybe one or two peaks, but constantly being below the zero line. At this point, we have a bullish divergence, we have a peak seeker, and we're still on the green in here, which means being on the green cloud, the next upcoming movement should be bullish on the overall direction of the movement. All right, so that means a possible reversal. That again, that doesn't mean that we're not going to have that liquidity drop or drag, because also you have an amazing piece of information that you've been talking about liquidity, that it is pulling the price down there. So let me pass it over to you, Piper, again. I just wanted to kind of like, talk about the oscillator, kind of like all looking bearish.
Yep.
We are not bullish. That is a fact, right?
That is a fact. Absolutely a fact. All right, let's go ahead and jump into the news. Let's talk about what happened this morning. We did get a little bit of economic data. Of course, the sell-off today, likely not due to that. That data was kind of stagnant and neutral. Nothing really important there. We'll go over it, but it's not the big mover today. I think today, a lot of the sell-off you're seeing is because people are confirming, based on what they're seeing right now, that tomorrow the FOMC rate cuts will not occur. It is going to be 99% chance right now, no change on rates. So we're going to have a whole, quantitative tightening continuing on for the time being right now. Let's jump over to the news and let's talk about that. Looking at the total market cap right now, guys, we are at $2.664 trillion. The trend median for the total crypto market cap is at 3.592 trillion. That means we are currently 25.82% undervalued on the crypto market. Looking at the Bitcoin risk right now, we're coming in at 48% risk. That makes that a 3x, and we'll talk about what that means here before the end of the show today, guys. I want to break down the Piper plan that we're doing for dollar cost averaging over in our Discord. And so it's how I'm buying, it's what I'm buying, and I'll break it all down for you guys. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let's go over here and check out the crypto bubbles right now on the hourly. Like I said, a lot of red. Even on the daily, it's pretty mixed right now. There's some green ones in there. But if we jump down here, take a look at Bitcoin in the top 20, down 1.8%. It's currently at 81,314. Oh, Lord, let's go see here. Ethereum's down 0.6%, not as bad as what XRP is down, which is 3.4% right now. Any other big movers? Solana's down 3.5%. Cardano's down 4.4%. Oh, we got some green, though. Tron's up 4%. Leo token's up 1.5%. Toncoin up 5.3%. Come out of nowhere, moving up 2 more spots there to the number 12 position. Stellar Lumens is moving up. It's down on the daily, but it did move up 1 spot there. Chainlink sitting neutral right now, so not a bad thing. I would not be surprised, though, if we do get this continuation of the downside movement on Bitcoin, guys. I'm looking at Chainlink to go back into its lower channel. I'll show that chart here in a bit. You guys are not going to like that level that I'm talking about there. Hedera HBAR down 3.4%. Pi Network continuing the sell-off, guys, down 17.4% today, losing 5 spots on the Pi Network. Get out of the top 20, dude. You are holding up the top 20 here from something way better than you, Pi Network. Avalanche is up 0.9% here. Shiba Inu down 3.4%, down 1.9% on Sui, and then rounding out the top 20, it's Mantra up 0.5% today, moving up 2 spots to take the number 20 spot. Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash dropping off as the ETF talks about Litecoin Bitcoin has started to disappear. Let's go in and let's refresh this and take a look at what we're seeing on the TradFi side here. Market's been open for about 45 minutes now, so I want to see what exactly they are seeing there. Are you going to reload for me? Thank you very much. There we go. Dow Jones is down about 0.5%, half a percent today, sitting about 215 points down. So S&P's down 1.12, 1.10 now, and the NASDAQ down almost 2% there, 1.88% there on the downside move. Russell 2K selling off, and the VIX coming back up from that 20. Could not get below that 20 mark, and I told you when we're below 20, that's a good time to identify trend. When we're above it, you can't really get a solid lock on it. It's moving way too fast, way too much. And so we are now moving back up on that. Let's go take a look at the bonds. We are seeing some, unchanged, but it was up this morning. The 10-year Treasury yield for the U.S. 10-year bond at 4.3%. This needs to come down so they can refinance that $9.2 trillion here on our debt. So that's, by the way, coming up by June, I believe, is that $9.2 trillion refinance window. So gold is continuing to pump. It is up another 1% today at $3,037. Silver's just under $35 at $34.69, up 1.14 today. Copper is up. Platinum and palladium moving to the downside. Let's go and see what we got over here in the economic calendar this morning. We had building permits, housing starts, month over month, import and export prices, and housing starts from month over month there, guys. A lot of revisions here. First of all, let's talk about this housing starts revision. It was previously at 1.366 million. They revised that down. So previous month, what they said it was, not as good as what it was. Move that down here. Housing starts from month over month. Previously, it was at negative 9.8. It was worse than that. It was actually down 11.5. So this 11.2. We'll see how that gets revised too, right? And then import prices month over month. That was previously at 0.3. They revised that upward to 0.4, meaning it's costing more money to import. So none of these big factors today. It does show a slowdown. We are seeing a slowdown on building permits preliminary. So this was at 1.47, came in at 1.45 now, but it was better than consensus, not as good as forecast. So kind of just mixed today, neutral, nothing really standing out here and screaming, hey, check this out. But I will point out that export prices have dropped, which means less money for our GDP. We already know that we're likely getting a negative GDP for Q1 here coming soon. So let's go jump over. Oh, wait, let's go over here and look at tomorrow. Tomorrow's the big day, guys. We're getting the Fed rate decision. This is going to be happening at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. FOMC projections, that will be at 2 p.m. And then 30 minutes later at 2:30 p.m. tomorrow, you're going to get that Fed press conference with Jerome Powell. Right now, expected to be no change, pause on the rate cuts, no rate hike, no rate cut, just staying right where it's at 4.5%. So let's take a look at this, guys. I'll put this over to the news cam so OC can be on here with me, because I want to talk about these two articles that we have right now. And the first one is the Bitcoin bull run is over, according to CryptoQuant CEO. He sounded the alarm, guys. And I'm just going to drop down here and talk about it. It's Ki Young-ju announced today that Bitcoin's bull cycle is over and warned investors to brace for 6 to 12 months of bearish or sideways price action. This development comes after the on-chain analytics veteran had previously urged caution but maintained a measured outlook on the market as recently as 2 weeks ago. So is the Bitcoin bull run over? In a post shared by him on X, he stated that it was, with 6 to 12 months of that sideways movement. And this is based on things like the MVRV, the SOPR, and the NUPL. These are all indicators from CryptoQuant that they use on their website. And you can see here, it has triggered the red line now, which is a sell indicator based on the P&L index cyclical cycles. He further explained how an automated alert previously sent to his subscribers, of course, he's going to, still his stuff, combine these metrics into a 365-day moving average. Once the trend in this 1-year moving average changes, it often signals a significant market inflection point. As proof, Key also shared a chart. This alert applies PCA to on-chain indicators like MVRP. So this is basically a combination of multiple indicators, and you can see it has now started that turn down right there, which has led to turn downs in the past cycles. So That's the one point I wanted to make today, and that's the reason for the thumbnail. CryptoQuant, a lot of indicators. They are a professional algorithm indication company. They got a great website. We use a lot of their charts in the crypto space, not just me, a lot of content creators. And he is saying that the Bitcoin bull run is over. 6 to 12 months of sideways and downward pressure. So flip it over, flip that coin over, guys. If we get to talk about Bitcoin accumulation resumes after 3 months of distribution. It's no wonder there's so much uncertainty in the markets. Even the headlines on the same news site are giving these conflicting things. So is it over? We're going to have OC check this out. But what is he looking at? He's looking at Bitcoin accumulation and distribution. After 3 months of that distribution period, they now say it is accumulating. Bitcoin continues to trade below the $85,000 level, fueling fears of further downside as the bearish trend remains intact. Bulls are losing momentum, failing to reclaim key resistance levels, that 200-day simple moving average to begin with, and hold lower demand levels, raising concerns about a potential continuation of the correction. However, there is a shift in market behavior that could indicate a turning point. Key metrics from Glassnode reveal that after 3 months of distribution, accumulation trend scores hint at an early sign of Bitcoin accumulation. Historically, a transition from distribution to accumulation has been often preceded a recovery phase, suggesting that investors might be stepping back in at these lower levels. OC, what are we supposed to do when you get, hey, bull runs over? Hey, guys, distribution is done and everyone's accumulating. I know what I'm doing. I took all my profits at 102.7K, and I immediately started the dollar cost average cycle again based on the Piper plan. What do you do with this info? Do you look deeper? Do you just, hodl and pray? Like what? We can't get any clear answers. It's almost like Trump is writing news articles for crypto now, keeping you on your toes. You never know what's coming. So your thoughts on this, man? And then I want to see what you got on the accumulation and distribution chart.
Absolutely. So let me get started with giving some clarity. Everything's need to be weighted, right? I mean, you do need to have a balance, right? And then whenever you have a bearish news, you put it onto the bearish balance, and whenever you have a bullish news, you put it into a bullish balance, and then you go that way. There's going to be we know that there's going to be a point where there is basically equilibrium, and kind of like you don't know which one is going to be giving out at that moment. That's when TA comes in place, right? At this point, there's nothing bullish about it, but we can start seeing a possible change of face if we have the correct data playing out on the charts. But so far, it is looking bearish. And not gonna lie, we have been talking about, and I believe I mentioned this, it was Wyckoff Inception. I don't remember in which chapter we talked about it, but I believe it was last week, maybe Tuesday, or something around those dates, where I was explaining that we have a macro breakout at this point, and we are confirming the bearishness for a longer period of time. There's only one way that we can save our assets on Bitcoin, and that is not losing the last stand, which means ranging. So ranging with this last drop will create the next Wyckoff accumulations scheme. But other than that, we need to weight it based on how charts played out. And remember that every single time frame has its own trend line, right? So regardless, I would be suggesting look at the daily, look at the weekly, and trade or look for smaller movements in the 4 hour or 1 hour. So you are prepared. Remember, regardless, whatever it moves, we can do money as long as there's volatility in the market. So we don't really care much about the bull run is over, because let me remind you that in 2017, whoever bought at 20K, well, last cycle 2021, they were laughing all the way to the bank when they hit highs, right? Absolutely. And whoever bought the top at this point, don't worry, guys. You're going to be laughing all the way to the bank in the next cycle if this is the worst case scenario. Patience, patience, patience.
Absolutely. And, and that's the big reason that we started the entire hyper plan, the dollar cost averaging. When I took all of my profits at 102.7 WBTC, you're listening to us live right here with the smooth sounds of market charts. When we look at that, why I started the sold at 102.7, I immediately started the DCA process again. I called it the DCA reset. And the reason for that is, I'll jump over here and we'll show you this, guys. So this uses Into The Cryptoverse, but they don't do a take profit. We have a take profit plan with our DCA. So let's jump over here, show this. If you had started buying in at the top of the market, November 8th, 2021, and you were putting, say $25 a weekend on a DCA amount, okay? I do $25 a week, started at the top, now we're here. I started at the top in 2021, now we're here, right? You would have invested 175 times at $25 a week, $4,375 in, you'd be up right now 144.18%. That is starting a weekly dollar cost average at the very beginning of the drop from the top in 2021 up to now. So you rode the entire crypto winter, right? But if we go up here and we put this onto a dynamic DCA, which means as we go down in these risk levels, you're multiplying your entry. So, for example, when we were sitting here, at this level back in, what would this be? Let's see. This would be back in October 2023. At that level there, you would have been doing $75 for your dollar cost average, right? Because it's dynamic. It's based on risk levels. You would have invested 174 out of 175 weeks. You'd be in for $13,000 out of pocket for that whole time period from 2021 to now, and you would be up 190%. What I want to point out is that if actually this would be on Tuesday, sir. Thank you, because we don't do that on Saturday. You'd be up 178%. There you go. If you take a look at the actual timeline here, though, at 70% and above, guys, we take profits. So we put this out in our Discord. We show this this chart, which I'll show you in a second, and I tell you we are at DCA 2, 3, 4, whatever, or we're at take profits. On Bitcoin, you would have taken profit when we broke the 70% here. That would have been 30% of your total token count. If you would have taken out 30% of your total token count, so your total count there in March, right? That would have been 85% of what you invested, and you would be able to actually up your DCA because now you have all this profit into the next swing down. So all of these levels where you're times 1, times 2, times 3, you have all of your profits that you took to compound even more. So it is a cycling, compounding investment of dollar cost averaging. This is what I'm doing. This is not financial advice, but I do put this out and tell people what I'm doing with my approach to it. What is this risk level based on? Well, that is based on the wristbands here for Bitcoin. And so if we take a look here, you can see as you go into lower levels on risk, that's where these are. So you can see down here when it's in this dark blue, that's 0.1 to 0.2. And that would be because we do a dollar cost average times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, so on and so forth. So yeah, guys, this is taking our profits and running them back in to your DCA so you can up your DCA amount. And I've been doing that since January when I took 102.7. That's why I sold everything, sitting on all that cash, making APY on that, and then I'm turning around and doing a dollar cost average every week. So that is the DCA Piper plan, and you guys can get the Bitcoin one, just the Bitcoin one, access to that just by being a member here on the YouTube channel, $4.99 a month, and you get a entry and exit plan for dollar cost averaging that you can follow the Piper plan. It's my plan. It's what I'm doing. Of course, if you want access to all the altcoins and stuff, we do have the upperclassmen in our Discord. Don't forget to check it out. If you're interested, I'll show you guys around if you want. Hey, I'm a member on your YouTube. I'm interested in seeing what the altcoin side looks like. Can you show it to me? And I'll show it to you. Always, doors always open to show people around. But yeah. OC, we do have all that. I am doing some trading though. I am currently in a trade right now. I am up about 16% here. Let me pull this up. and show you. Currently up about 16% on my Bitcoin short that I went into this weekend, entered at about 84,100. And we got a new thing going with Blofin. Now I can do my tags and it puts my Piper Academy logo on there, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we are currently up on that. If you guys are interested in trading with us on Piper Academy, you guys come back here and either scan that or check the links below. But right now we do have a program going, a promotion going with Blofin, where you can get $300 deposit bonus based on your deposit into the account. So up to $2,000 net deposit, that's a $300 futures bonus, and you guys can get access to it. It says only deposits transferred into the futures account will be counted. It's limited to the first 100 users, so if you don't get in quickly, you're going to miss out on it. Net deposit, total amount transferred into futures accounts. So you don't even have to go into a full trade. Just put it in there and be able to trade if you want to. Of course, we're dropping those trade setups in our Discord quite a bit. So if you guys are interested in that, check out the link and you guys can trade with us on a Blofin. OC, let's go back and check out some charts here now, because on the distribution side of everything, on Wyckoff and all of that, what are you thinking on the total markets right now, especially on the alt side? I'd like you to take the lead on that, run with it all, and let's just see what you're seeing on for Bitcoin on that and what that translates to for altcoins. So, because me personally, I'm not dollar cost averaging into any alts right now. I think I want to see a trend reversal on Bitcoin to show some strength there before I get into alts. I'm just focused on that, but I know that you are watching those alts every day. So let's drop it over to you, see what you're seeing on the charts, bro.
Absolutely. So, sorry for that. First of all, let's just get rid of our spaghetti so we can concentrate on what's happening. But also, I don't want you guys to stop missing what we have in here, which is a bunch of trend lines, right? We've been using these trend lines to trade the price of Bitcoin. But let's get to it right now. So turning everything off in here, and what we see is kind of like a rounded top here with a double top confirmation, those two little, I don't know, devil ears in there, right? Breakout retest, and off we go. Sorry. Let's go to the Wyckoff scheme and the Wyckoff distribution here. By the way, I love how the Academy Madness has broken this out. So it is an advanced setup. So just remember that this is not the whole story, all right? But this explains very much how to read it and also give you the two most representative schemes in here, right? This is going to be the second step that we're going to be talking about. But first, let's compare what we just see on Bitcoin, which is this. Let's actually, copy the image. Let's go back into Bitcoin and let's paste the image right here. Oh, and of course, it does not show. So does that resembles it? I mean, I would say that pretty freaking much, right? I mean, top, second top and higher, second top and higher, right? We have a little downy here, maybe this is just slightly off. Look at that, breaking with SOW and then LPSY, right? SOW, SP, LPSY, and then far off we go. Something important to note is that we are still making lower lows and lower highs. This could be a rejection. So where does the news kind of like start telling you, well, we're start recuperating or something like that? Well, it's not that we are seeing it right away, but if you zoom in into this itty bitty part, we start having the hint of what they're talking about, right? Let me hide this for a little second, and you'll see that the size of the drop, right, is start just going smaller, right, and maybe smaller. If we can make a smaller drop or even a higher low, we could be creating what we talked about the previous week, which is right here in this chart. Let me show it to you. There we go. Remember that I told you this is what I believe that we could be doing, basically following 2021 scheme. What's happening here? We have a range, we have a V-shaped recovery. That gives us what? If we go back to Wyckoff and take a look at the secondary parting here, come on, Wyckoff, where are you? It is right there. Coming down, little range, V-shaped recovery, that gives us somewhere around 70% chances of ranging. So let's trade the range if we are 70% sure that this is going to be playing out. what we do, we measure the inner range and we measure the outer range. We trade the outer range. We enter for a short, we take profits on the short and enter for a long. We take profits on the long and add to the short. Remember, we keep it alive, and also we keep our stop loss. And we do it and do it until we have the spring breakout retest, and off we go. So at this point, we're having the range, the V-shaped recovery, 70% chances of ranging. So how do we confirm? We confirm with this next up, all the way to the outer range right here. That's why we're keeping these two lines at 94 and 91 areas for entering for a daily trade. All right, let's go for a much cleaner chart. There we go. And also, guys, remember that as long as we bounce off into the dynamic reactor and we don't lose, I would say, the previous bottom at 77, we can still create that range even if we are not hitting the top range. All right, but this is what they're forecasting, right? It is not that there is complete yet. We don't have a confirmation yet, but this is what they're forecasting. Let's go and then look at what we've been talking about or adding. And where is, oh, here it is. All right, perfect. From the previous weeks. And why I cannot move this? Oh, I see why. All right, so basically this is what I've been talking about that could be happening, and if you see, it is just been matching perfectly, right? So I'm not saying that this is gonna be it, but if we're talking about possible patterns, well, we've been onto it for a long time. As you can see, it's not perfectly matching one-to-one, but the tops and bottoms, they're kind of like a fitting in. So I think that, guys,
and that would match up that distribute accumulation at the bottom of that setup there on Wyckoff could line up with the other article that said where it could be heading for 6 to 12 months of sideways and down. So both of those articles could be correct at the same time, right? So just want to make you guys aware that accumulation period, they could be just slightly off on it because you just seen the two different sides of that. And now we're heading into the accumulation, which CryptoQuant said could be 6 to 12 months. So interesting. Continue on. I just wanted to point that out to everybody.
Absolutely. So, guys, this is not something new. We've been talking about this for a long time, and you have seen the traces that we've been talking about piece by piece and how we've been building it up, right? So it actually kind of like, it's funny when you're already into it and then the news comes in and, hey, look at this, right? And we're like, yeah, man, you're late to the party. But still, you have a ton more followers than we do. So you lead the way. All right, so kind of like funny about that. Still, guys, we are, yeah, I know. So we are basically on this setup. And I believe that this could be a very strong area to follow up. Remember what I told you guys, even to create that head and shoulders, we can still go to the lower portion at ST right there. Other than that, let me jump into the altcoin area, and let's get started with Ethereum, right? Oh,
altcoin season has been canceled until further notice. Just so in case you didn't know, OC. But yeah, hold off on the altcoin season talk. All right. What do you got for us?
Absolutely. So let's get started with Ethereum. I know it's a mess. I need to clean this up for sure. But remember that we've been talking about a possible entry right here at this area. And have we entered again? Not just yet. We're waiting for that flip of the ribbon. We already have that downwards bearish divergence right here that we were expecting. Let me just clean up a little bit because I cannot even stand my own drawings in here. And man, this is getting obnoxiously noisy. So I do need to clean this up. All right, so whatever. At this point, we're waiting for the next possible entry. Our entry point is somewhere, we're aiming to be somewhere around 1,849 or even a little bit higher here with this trend line that is just freshly generated. Remember, this is what we're expecting. It is a flip of the ribbon. If you're going to be entering at this point, which by the way, on the 4 hours, it's almost gone, but still a possibility, long position, wait for maybe a reclaiming somewhere around here, set your stop loss right below this week and aim to previous highs. This will be the next setup. By the way, I need to point out, because I'm not going to be taking it at the moment, that I might not be taking this trade. Why is that? Because I did not cut this area right here, and we were talking about it on the 1 hour. The 1 hour, it's gone. The entry, it's gone or not there yet. So I'm gonna be assuming that it's not there yet, and I'm gonna be waiting for a further low, especially since Bitcoin is moving downwards. But guys, we're still on the waiting on Ethereum here, right? So just going back to these areas. So 4 hours, guys, you might still have a chance to re-enter at, let me show it to you right here, 1,885. Remember, set your stop loss below the wick and give yourself a little bit of a wick or a wiggle room right there. Going to Litecoin, let's go and visit the 4 hours because we had a breakout here. And guys, remember that at this point, all of the altcoins or most of the altcoins are having kind of like the same pattern, right? Remember where we have Wyckoff accumulation and distribution phases. Like for example, we have the first one here we've talked about, second one here, and usually the third one is the charm. So I am expecting one more move in here before we have the dynamic record coming in strong to us to start taking it. So be careful with Litecoin. Despite we're creating some higher highs, well, this is an up ranging move, and if we flip this, it will be looking like a bearish flagging here. I don't want to alarm you guys, but just in the technical side, it is pointing at 68. I don't think that we're gonna get there. I think at the worst we're gonna be doing 64 in here, maybe weakening out slightly, but we still have a long way to go downwards there. So yeah, be careful with Litecoin. OM already not looking good. I mean, we've talked about when we where we did not enter on this area. This is not the time to enter so far. Why? Because we are not right now at support zones. Let me just clear this up so we can start over here. Perfect. And yeah, we are above the zero line. We are above the dynamic reactor. But what's happening is that we're going downwards, and guess where we are right now? We are on the red cloud, which means the next upcoming movement should be bearish. And guess what we have right here? A trend line. Let me also pull up in here some order blocks, and the big order blocks are all the way back at 625. So for me, this breakout retest, I'm going to be leaving it out unless or until we go higher, right? And then on the next retracement, that's going to be my entry. But better yet, I'm aiming at a retracement all the way back here to this area, very close to my order block zone in here. Not at the order block zone. Why? Because at this point, I want to reanalyze based on my trend line here, right? So I want to do a trend line reanalysis, and I want to see a flip of the ribbon above. If I don't have this, or I'm already breaking like that, I'm gonna be waiting for the price of OM to go all the way here at 6162. Let's add that alert 63 just so we have one small wiggle room for us to take some actions there on the 4 hours. Other than that, let me just finish up with BNB. Very quick, BNB breakout retest. Are we bearish? I think this is a fake out. Why? Because we're still right here on accumulation. So in fact, if I clear this up, let me invert the chart here. And let me show you that. How cool is this? Going down, little range V-shaped recovery that give us 70% chances of ranging. And at this point, if we go visit Wyckoff, we're looking that we could be at the SOS area. So BNB could be at the SOS area, which means that if we can do it like this, well, we're gonna be catching up this area somewhere around here. Remember, this is inverted, which means further move to the downside. All right. Be careful. I will not be trading BNB until we start breaking through the zero line. If we start closing above the POC here, above this red line, I think we have a real chance for further continuation. But so far, this is bearish. All right. So other than that, turning it back to you, Piper.
Awesome. Shout out to Tradefly in the chat. I see you there, man. If you guys are not following Tradefly on his own solo channel yet, you guys need to go follow him, subscribe, and all that good stuff. So I'm sure that Alexandra G probably already dropped the link there for Tradefly in the chat, but if she hasn't, she will soon. You guys need to go give him a follow because I miss the days when he used to sit right here with us. I still got a spot for him if he ever wants to roll back in on a Monday morning show or something. But yeah, shout out to Tradefly in the chat, bro. Let's go talk about Chainlink right now because I am seeing some troubling times ahead for Chainlink if we continue on this downward sell-off for Bitcoin, guys. Back here for about a year and a half. Let's see here, May 2022. Yeah, we're about a year and a half. We were in this range on Chainlink. It was a fantastic trading time. We were longing on the bottom of the range, shorting on the top of the range, and it was just a wonderful time to make money in Chainlink. And then we went into a whole new range, had a little breakout here, went into another range, came back into the range. This has been a key area for us. And when we break out of this to the upside, we typically have gone back to this range or shot really high, getting up here almost to $31 at one point. But what I'm watching right now is the fact that we are trying to hold this bottom level, and it looks like we're about to make another turn down to the downside. If we turn on the fixed range volume profile, which goes through this entire range here, you'll see we have a value area low that's coming in right now at about $11.25. If we go, though, and we move this back to encompass this entire range at the bottom over here, guys, we have a point of control sitting right in the middle of this, and we are losing our value area high. Right now, you can see all these daily candles. I'm on 2 days right now, so each candle's 2 days. This whole period here is our rejection point, which is value area high. When we reject off of a value area high, we typically head to the point of control. Point of control right now, guys, is coming in at about $7.18. Even if it's just the top of this range and we come in for a retest like we did back here, create that double bottom, you're still looking at about an $8.50 chain link, very, very far off from the $800 chain link everyone's waiting on. Yes, someone actually said that. But yeah, guys, it's not looking good right now. Matter of fact, if we just encompass the breakout here of that lower range, right now our test level on the bottom side is going to be the value area low, and that's at $11.84. So getting rejected off that point of control there means we're at least heading down to there. We lose that, very likely heading down to that $8.50 range on that lower box there. That's what I'm watching for on Chainlink right now. And sadly could be a reality that we're seeing there. OC, what are the levels that you're watching? Because the sell-off has been crazy. We know that on Bitcoin. Everything should be bullish right now. We got a bullish administration in office. We got bullish regulation, bullish policy, bullish adoption. Is it just the fact that we can't defeat the fear that exists in the market right now with $9.2 trillion and needing to be refinanced, very likely going to try to push the rates down lower? Quickest way to do that, wreck the economy, right? Is it the tariffs? Is it just general fear cycle? Are we surprised by any of this? Because at the beginning of all of this election cycle, we talked in nauseam about the fact that Trump was being left a mess of an economy. So we're starting to see true numbers coming out and stuff like that. Do we just have to let it happen? Do we keep looking for lower stuff there? Check out that In and Out crypto swag. That's right. Bitcoin shirts galore. They got everything over there. Go check them out, Tradefly said. But what's your thoughts? Like, what's the turnaround point on this? Or do we just need to just let it happen and take advantage of the lower prices that we have coming? What's your thoughts on the altcoins, especially?
Well, first I need to tell you guys that this answer, it's going to be a little bit biased. And that is because I'm fully on Bitcoin, where savings for my retirements we're talking about, right? That means that whenever it goes low, it hurts me, right? Because the psychological factor is still there, because I see my whole savings going thousands at a time, because that's what happened when you have a big wallet, right? So it's not fun to watch that. Something that I
OC said he has a big one. You guys heard it.
I just need to show it off now, right? All right. So the point in there it is that I think you get a point. We need to let it happen. And let me double down on this part. That is because I believe, and I feel kind of like a proud of this. Bitcoin is becoming what we always wanted to become, right? A means of storing value, playing with the big boys, right? A represented economy, the true economy. At this point, true economy with everything else, it's just crumbling, right? Yes, we have bullish news, we have bullish sentiment, or we had bullish everything, but bullish results. We are not seeing those results just yet. The economy, it's tumbling. Therefore, now what we always wanted is that Bitcoin represented the market and needs to move with the market. But also remember, guys, Bitcoin is not designed not to break down or go lower with the economy. It is designed to do so, but also to get back on its feet way faster than before, right? Because this is not dependent on fiat, or it's not reacting on the fundamental just like fiat. It is fiat dependent, because where do you get, how do you buy crypto? Don't go tell me that you have a ATM out of gold, right? That you put your golden coin, right, and then you get Bitcoin. No, you do it with that genius idea. There you go. Business idea. But we put there fiat, right? So we're building this up with fiat. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, because we're taking that volume out of the fiat and putting it into something that there's not going to be any more of it. But again, this is going to be moving with the microstructure. So at this point, what we're seeing, and let me also talk about this very carefully, it is that at this point, I believe Donald Trump, it is making a statement, right? He is setting down the foot. In an economy, or in a previous administration, where we all see the image of the greatest leader, or the biggest, or the leader, principal leader of the greatest nation, the biggest nation, or the most powerful nation, however you want to call it, right? Crumbling, falling out of the stairs into the plane, seeing like weakness, right? And we can see that in the other side of the world culture, right? Now he's erasing that and setting down the foot and using the power that he has left, because this is mental power or politic power, to rebuild the strength, right? That's what he's pushing. There is a breaking point. I don't think that we're there yet, but overdoing that, or over leveraging the tariff, could actually create a snowball effect for trickling down. Bear in mind that we need to let the how do you call it? It's not a depression, it is a
Recession.
recession. Thank you very much. We need
I
the
gotcha.
recession happened. Thank you. Yeah. So this is just part of the cycle, right? So let me just
So
cut it out there.
economy
Recessions.
reset button, man. The economy reset button. It's got to be hit.
Exactly. Exactly. So let me tell you that the second most bullish scenario for me is just ranging. It is the Wyckoff accumulation scheme not falling on a bearish world economy, right? So I believe seeing that 3 to 6 months range, for me, that is bullish AF. That is bullish AF. Because whether everything else should be falling, we're just holding. We're holding. We're holding. We're resisting. And that talks a lot about Bitcoin, but be patient and let it happen, right? Get your input ready for lower prices in case we get that. Oh,
I want
look
to
at
see.
that.
I want to see Bitcoin turn into what it's supposed to be, though, and that is digital gold, right? Gold, guys, continuing at $3,037. OC, what's your take on why Bitcoin is not performing like gold? Is it because it's the adoption rate is just not there yet, and therefore it's still just a risk asset today? The best risk asset, my opinion, it's higher risk than some of the stocks out there, but I believe the rewards, the best risk to reward asset on the market. But why is it not gold? I mean, we know that is the ultimate goal. When people ask me, "Hey, Rick, what is Bitcoin? Can you explain? I don't even understand this. I don't know where to buy it. I tell them, look, it's digital gold. Think of it like digital gold, but it's hard to, to defend that stance when you see gold breaking new highs and Bitcoin's continuing to go down. When does that threshold get broken where Bitcoin and gold converge, invert, we were inverted, as they say in Top Gun. Shout out to Tradefly. When does that happen with gold and Bitcoin, man?
Absolutely. I do get that point clear. That's going to happen exactly when we have enough market cap. That's it. That's the point. As soon as we have enough market cap, we're going to rush. Let me guys go remind you and go back in history where we were talking about the gold standard and also having the ETF of gold being open to the public, right? What happened to the market cap of gold, right? It just went like crazy. The same thing is happening at this point, but also remember what happened with the ETF of the Canadian ETF of gold, right? It plummeted after it had a short-lived bull run, and everybody was like, "What? This is gold? What's happening?" So on and so forth. And this has to do with generation, right? If you ask somebody that is used to seeing gold and US dollar as a reserve of value, well, then how do you explain all of the complexity? Because it is complex, right? How it works. So you're just not going to tell them, hey, put all of your savings in something that is new that you don't understand and you can get scammed out. And nobody is telling you, nobody can get it back to you. At least on gold, you have a gun under the next to the safe. If anyone is threatening to take it, you take their hands, right? So their hands, your gold. So that is kind of like a physical way to defend it. If
That's how
this is YouTube, yeah, this is not a trade or anything like that. I'm just making the comparison of how you would defend something, right? Just saying out there. So
yeah, I'm tracking all that. Retro Mike Tech said Bitcoin was not built to be digital gold. It was built to be peer-to-peer currency alternative to the US dollar without the need for an intermediary. And absolutely, I'm tracking all that. Read the white paper. However, the digital gold narrative is not, in my opinion, what prevented the Satoshi plan. That would be the American tax system, because as long as it is a risk, as long as it is an equity asset, something that the SEC sees as an asset, you're never going to get it used as a peer-to-peer money system. That all went down the drain the day that the IRS said we can tax you and every time that you change hands with that, and so that kind of destroyed that entire narrative. Because no one's ever going to use Bitcoin as currency. If I want to buy something and you're going to hit me with taxes for a sales purchase and taxes for selling an asset on short-term or long-term capital gains, will never ever be a currency as long as that is the thing. So that's why I hate using the word cryptocurrency. I actually think a lot of it is crypto assets. So Bitcoin needs to see laws change in the U.S. government before Bitcoin ever becomes the version that Satoshi Nakamoto envisioned. So so when is it Trump's economy? I had no problem taking credit for the market last year, though. It becomes his economy when he's had a time for his I guess right now he has had time for his policies to take effect, but it takes time for policies to take effect. But when you walk into office and your job numbers are overinflated with government jobs produce no income. Zero. They add nothing to the economy. They are nothing but a suck on the economy. Government jobs do zero to put money into the economy because they're 100% taxpayer paid. So they take from the economy to recycle into the economy at lesser and lesser amounts over and over and over again. So we had overinflated government jobs. The job numbers for the past 12 months have been so far off and inflated by nothing but government jobs. If you looked at private job sector, if you looked at JOLT job reports, if you looked at construction, if you looked at manufacturing, if you looked at retail, since 2023, those jobs have been on a downward trend. The only one that was moving up was government jobs. And so you have to wash out the overinflated fake numbers, smoke and mirrors game that was being played by the last administration before you can start tagging things to the current administration on the economy. And that is going to take pain to do. So when will it be his? When his policies are the only thing that are affecting the current economic conditions and he's no longer trying to recover from the shit show of economics that were left on his lap when he became president. There you go. Piper's outro for today. That's the case. I can show you 18 different ways that I showed on Billy Goat Tells. Speaking of, they're on tonight. Make sure you tune into them. When I was showing everybody how all the numbers were being cooked and everything was false and fake. Like we had the worst job numbers that we've had since 2020 coming into play. And the only thing keeping job numbers afloat was 100% government jobs. Doge is cleaning those out as we speak. And by the way, no different than what Bill Clinton did when he erased 377,000 federal jobs to fix the deficit. Trump's trying to do the same thing. So that is all we got time for today, guys. We are at the top of the hour. We're about to go head over into Crypto Blood Show. Because I'm going to be on there. So we're going to go redirect to him. He's going to go over some chart stuff. About 30 minutes into the show, I'll be dropping in, and we'll be talking about some macro stuff and running into how the markets are being affected by the macro side of everything. So, OC, what do you got for people on the way out, man? Drop that knowledge on them. Let them know what happens if they smash that like button today.
Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for watching and joining today. A quick reminder to click that like button, because this is the only show where clicking the like button give you power-ups. Don't believe me? Click the like button, and then you see that lat pen that disappeared last time that your wife absolutely not took, right? Well, then click it, and it's going to be appearing once again.
It will. Absolutely, man. OC, appreciate you, brother. You are going to be live today here on Piper Academy.
Oh, yes.
What time?
Absolutely.
What time? Eastern Standard Time. What time will that be?
I believe that's going to be at 6 p.m. EST, if I'm not wrong, right? And this is going to be a new show that is going to be called Orange Juice and Coffee Show.
I love it. The Orange Juice and Coffee Show with OC guy. Now, you guys tune in, check it out, see what the show's all about. Yeah, OC's going to be, he's picking up some more show stream here. So as things start to drop away, you guys are getting some news content, I guess. So, but yeah, go check it out. 6 p.m. today. We'll be pushing it out on X and everything else, guys. But we'll be back here tomorrow morning. Make sure you guys tune in over to Crypto Blood here in about 5 minutes. We're redirecting there, but I'll be on there in about 30. Until next time, guys, trade safe. Keep your eye on the markets. Remember, knowledge is profit, and you always need to feed that knowledge by tuning in right here on the Morning Market Report every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, trade safe. And as always, use some risk management. Later, guys. I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Chart Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step fall back to offline, we'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling out the wheels fall low. Sound off to get rhythm, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra. Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean. That was awesome, dude!